Today I want to talk to you about how just getting on with it might actually be getting in the way of you just getting on with it. It's a very British attitude, isn't it? And it's something that I've heard a great deal in the last couple of weeks, particularly since lockdown 3 was imposed, how we are all just trying to get on with it because we're all in the same boat and there's nothing that can be done. We just have to get on with it. And at the same time, in the people that I've spoken to, particularly this last week, I've really noticed that there's been a build-up of anxiety and stress as the reality of our situation continues and really starts to bite. We are trying to cope, to do everything that we can, whether you are a working parent who's also trying to homeschool, whether you are living on your own and again really feeling that bite of loneliness and not being able to interact with others, whether you're on the front line and being traumatized by everything that you're seeing. We are all in the same boat as far as, yes, lockdown affects all of us, but it affects all of us very, very differently. The one thing that I find very common is the attitude, well, I've just got to get on with it. And if you imagine that that attitude is almost like having a machine that gets a little piece of grit in it, and this machine makes widgets, but the machine keeps going, it has to keep getting on with it. And because one piece of grit got in there, another piece of grit will get in as well. And so this machine keeps on going, but it has to, in spite of all of the dirt and the stuff that gets involved, and it gets in the gears and it stops the machine working smoothly, and eventually this machine will grind to a halt because it hasn't been cleaned and it hasn't been maintained. It's just been asked to get on with it. But as human beings, we're far more complex than a machine. And rarely do we pay attention to our own maintenance. And so what's happening is that we ourselves are asking ourselves to get on with it. We're pushing aside the emotional impact of what's happening. And again, what I'm hearing from people is that, well, I'm worried that if I give in to this, these are the words that we're using, if I give in to my emotions, then I may never stop crying once I start. And that's a real fear that's shared by many of us. What I would ask you, if that is your fear, is the last time you started crying, did you stop at some point? And the chances are, yes, you did. And one thing that crying does for us is to bring about a physical release of the emotion. It's an emotional release of all of those feelings. And it's an energetic release of all of that pent-up stuff that happens when we keep everything inside and just get on with it. And something that I found very beneficial in my interactions with people this week is them allowing themselves an opportunity to just go and have a damn good cry, or scream and shout and stamp their feet and release some of this stuff that's pending at the moment, that's building up, has a really cathartic impact. And if you've ever had a good cry in the past, you'll know what it feels like afterwards. It can be exhausting. And it can be difficult to face the emotion that's needed when you're having a good cry, but afterwards, there's a bit of a shift. We can feel tired, we can feel a bit wrung out, but maybe you get a bit of a different perspective and maybe feel a little bit better. So what I'm saying to you is, if you are now in the mindset of just get on with it, head down, keep going until this lockdown is over, ask yourself, is that possible without giving yourself some maintenance? Giving yourself permission to be human, permission to recognize and be a human being, because believe me, as human beings, we are hardwired to have this emotion. It's part of our makeup. And when we deny that, we are also denying our basic humanity, all in the name of, let's just get on with it. If it's possible, find somewhere in your home where you can be private, somewhere that you feel comfortable and safe. Allow yourself a moment of stillness and really ask yourself, what am I doing? How am I feeling? How am I doing? And if you notice an emotional build-up, if you can and if it's tolerable, have a damn good cry. And I really hope that you can feel better afterwards. Sometimes we need to cry with people because emotional healing happens best when we're witnessed. Get a friend on the phone, get somebody on Zoom, maybe somebody that you love and trust in your own home is somebody that you can release emotion with, that you can be comforted by. Allow yourself to give and receive that comfort if it's there and it's available for you. This is a difficult time. We all have to do the best we can just to get on with it. But remember, just getting on with it does not mean denying your emotion or denying your humanity. We get on best when we maintain ourselves and we do what's good for us and for what we need for a healthy mind and a healthy body. How do you just get on with it? What do you do that helps you? I would love to hear your feedback. Are you someone who struggles to cry, someone who struggles to give yourself permission to give in to the emotion that is probably brewing and that you're feeling right now? There are lots of ways that we can help ourselves with this. And if you haven't already, I encourage you to have a look at the webinar that I created that talks all about mental health in lockdown. It's called Looking After Yourself During Lockdown. I have posted the link to it in this on this page. It's free of charge. And there may be some things in there that help you find a way to give yourself some permission to have a good cry. Enjoy what's left of the weekend. You take good care. Most importantly, look after yourselves and be kind. Bye for now.